Welcome to my over budget and underdeveloped above ground concrete bunker in Chicago. Take a moment to get acquainted with some of the features we have here, or if you'd like, you can just play basketball. Here at the Presidential Center, we like to keep things moving, literally. Take a look around. Every kind of ride you can imagine. Some brand new, some with a little history in their gears. Have a bite, give a bite. Need a bite, take a bite. And every hallway tells a story about the community it serves. Home safety is a priority here. Let's keep going. This is the heart of the center. We built this room so our young folks can step into a story that isn't just about the danger they see on the corner, but the people.
What's up, guys? Spenny. We only spit facts on this show. We will only ever tell you the truth. We will give you good and solid information to head out into the world and be informed. And sometimes we have to go do our own reporting. And that's what brought us to Chicago just 2 months ago in order for us to report on Barack Obama's presidential library. What exactly is it? What does it look like? And here's what we came back with.
What the f*** is this piece of
It is actually one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life. And I've been to the old former Soviet Union. I've seen some of the most hideous protesters and street urchins of San Francisco. We have traveled to some pretty sunken places, and this is true garbage, actually. Look at this.
What the f*** is this piece of shit?
It really is hideous and ugly. And it is not just ugly, the building itself, but the area around it is also just garbage. And, you know, this was like a piece of parkland, actually, that they took over in Chicago where kids used to play soccer and baseball. There used to be a lot of room for the kids of the Chicago South Side who don't have a lot, obviously, to play in the parks. They bulldozed all of it. They took away all of it. And they took all this nice green space, and they're now replacing it with a giant cement brutalist structure. And again, a poor and hideous
All about the Obama
location.
Presidential Library. Not only does it look like a jail or a giant trash can, but it's also in just the classiest neighborhood where you have random abandoned boats that are in such poor disrepair that there are literal plants growing inside of them. Look, it's green like Obama's presidency. There's a bunch of 40s and a bunch of plants here inside of this wonderful boat that will hopefully be part of the, hopefully this will be part of the exhibits at the Obama Library.
Fine, like
as you can see right here, right in the shadow of it, a perfect representation of the Obama presidency.
It is like also it's in like a bad and like quite dangerous part of town. There's like projects everywhere. You can see downed street lamps here. You see trash, obviously, and graffiti littering the street right outside of Obama's presidential library. This is a real nightmare. They got themselves in a bad situation here. No telling if it's actually Donald Trump who left the McDonald's trash there. It was a tough experience. We went and asked people what they thought about the library itself, and the responses were not pretty. Obama's hulking new presidential library likened to Star Wars villains lair at it as it rises ominously over the streets of Chicago. This is what it's supposed to look like. What it actually looks like. It looks like, speaking of a last hope, that's right. What some people are saying. More on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Locating the Death Star in Chicago was a bold move. Yeesh. It is hideous. Again, look at all the green space that they bulldozed and just poured cement on for this green presidential library. It is a hideous structure, truly hideous. I have one in my neighborhood too. Joe Biden presidential library. One of the best design inspirations, that's right. It looks more like a sand crawler. That's not bad. Yeah, it looks kind of like that. Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, when it's crashed, the AT-AT, yes. A crashed AT-AT. Design, modern, brutalist building that looks good at the time. Culture catches up and people realize how grotesque it really is. A euphemism for his legacy. Obama's presidential library is one of the ugliest buildings I've ever seen in my life. Look at the amount of cement What are the windows? Like, you're going up high. Like, you might as well have windows. So you have like one window. This is probably his private office too. So you have like one window to look out onto the projects. You can't even see like the lake. The lake's there. That's pretty. There you go. The ugliest structure ever built by man, the Obama Library. That's right. Look at the amount of cement now that they're going to pour into this once beautiful park. Trump is building a triumphant arch in D.C., while Obama has been building this ginormous trash can for 5 years. We are not the same. Obama taking a lot of heat for this brutalist presidential library, but people forget this is the only type of construction that can withstand that tough Chicago weather of strong wind, big temperature swings, and near constant spray of stray bullets. That's right. That's a good point here. You know, if you're looking for something that's bulletproof, maybe surrounding yourself with 10 feet of cement is the right move. My guy literally built a modern brutalist pyramid dedicated to himself. Looks like Dell made a mid-range PC with a DVD drive. That's a good one. This fire hydrant needs a really big dog. Okay, this is all the warmth and charm of Alcatraz. Can Obama be impeached for this? This is the ugliest thing I have ever seen. Imperial base from Star Wars. It is appropriate. It looks like a 1970s mental institution. It looks like a jail. Totes has the feel of the deep state headquarters, doesn't it? Yes, it does look like an evil lair. Very on brand, communist slop style as expected. It is communist style. If you look into what brutalist architecture is, it's littered all over the old Soviet Union, all the old Soviet states. It is just the architecture of brutal people. It's why it's called brutalism. It's meant to strip all architecture of its glory and its ascension into heaven. It's meant to be heavy and oppressive. That's why they use big cement blocks. You can find this architecture also in your nation's capital in Washington, D.C. The FBI headquarters is a good example of this. So is HUD. So are a ton of government buildings. It's meant to impose on you as you are walking on the street. You look up and it's just the weight of the building itself is so heavy. And it doesn't pull your eyes upward. It actually puts your head downward. And that is the intention, of course, of Marxism and all communism. So I asked Chicago residents, what do they think of the presidential library? Here were the answers I got. Garbage can. These are the people that live in Chicago. These are people that Democrats that probably love Obama. Jail, garbage can, rock, block of marble, TARDIS mountain, ATC tower, a mausoleum. Totally humiliating. What do you think that it looks like? That's what everyone in Chicago told me. They also told me that they hate it and that it seems corrupt. And it is actually corrupt. Money donated to build the Obama Library is sent to politically charged groups. Oh no. Millions of dollars sent to Barack Obama's foundation ended up being donated, laundered, to Progressive Fund that supported anti-Israel groups accusing of setting up encampments at Ivy League universities, according to public documents. Donation to the Obama Foundation, set up by former president to build a 19-acre temple worshiping himself in Chicago, totaling $2 million, were sent to the Tides Foundation in 2022 and 23, according to the latest available tax return filing. The cash was earmarked to support local organizations and reduce violence in communities. The Tides Foundation, also funded by Democrat mega donor George Soros, is a network that operates as a fiscal sponsor for groups that have not registered to the IRS. Third-party grant-making group is under scrutiny by the White House and the Ways and Means Committee for handing donations to anti-Israel groups. After the story was published on Friday, a spokesman for the Obama Foundation told the Post that the $2 million was granted to more than 50 organizations across the country to reduce surging summer violence and provide a safe space for young people. Why is violence surging? And in what communities? The Tide Center played an active role in this. The Tides also handed donations to the BLM network. Meanwhile, the foundation admitted that so far they've spent $615 million building the Obama Presidential Library, which is scheduled to open up in the spring of 2026. It is like 2x over budget. Just a reminder that we are very, very suspicious of people who take too much.
She believed that all children, all people have value, that anyone can succeed if given the opportunity. She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed.
How much do you need, Michelle? How much are you spending on your godforsaken temple to yourself here in Chicago? They're blowing out the budget. It's going to cost $1 billion to build the single ugliest building in America. I would say a fitting temple to Obama, isn't it? It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. And we can't wait to cover the Trump Presidential Library. That, I hear, is going to be quite different.